Well, voters here in Germany go to the polls this Sunday in elections expected to bring a shift in politics to the right. Despite concerns about the sluggish economy, campaigning has been dominated by migration and the rise of the far right.
This election was supposed to be about the economy. Then Elon Musk got involved, endorsing the far-right Alternative for Germany party, or AfD.
Only AfD can save Germany.
He then appeared at a campaign event encouraging Germans to let go of the past.
Children should not be guilty of the sins of their parents, or even let alone their parents, their great-grandparents, maybe.
That gave the anti-immigration party exposure they've never had before.
Wir wollen Sicherheit.
We want security and the rule of law. We want to be able to move freely and safely in our homeland.
A deadly knife attack forced migration to the top of the agenda. A mentally ill Afghan man stabbed to death 2 people, including a toddler. The suspect, whose asylum request had been rejected, was meant to have been deported. The favourite to be Chancellor, Friedrich Merz of the CDU, said he would close the borders and turn away asylum seekers.
The limit has finally been reached. We are faced with a shambles of 10 years of misguided asylum and immigration policy in Germany.
The following week, Merz relied on far-right AfD votes to pass a non-binding motion in the Bundestag. That kicked off a furious debate about whether the CDU would actually work with the AfD. Angela Merkel got involved. Hundreds of thousands protested. Olaf Scholz, current Chancellor and SPD leader, said voters could no longer trust Merz.
This is a breach of word, a taboo break that should not have happened.
Then US Vice President J.D. Vance delivered a speech for the history books, demanding that German politicians tear down a wall, a firewall, the convention of not working with the far right.
There's no room for firewalls. If you're running in fear of your own voters, there is nothing America can do for you.
For the leader of the Green Party, hoping to return to government as a junior partner, that was an attack, not just on Germany, but on democracy.
And that is under attack. From climate action to the war in Ukraine, to what we are seeing now and the rise of right-wing populistic parties in our liberal democracies. They all have one sense, one common sense. They want to have unlimited power.
A threat to democracy? Add that to concerns about migration, an economic recession and the prospect of a wider war, and you have an election where the stakes could scarcely be higher.
And our coverage continues now of the last moments of this campaign. I want to go to our political correspondent, Alex Gerst. He's in the western city of Dortmund, where Chancellor Scholz's Social Democrat Party is holding a rally. Alex, good to see you. I understand that the Chancellor just finished talking. He is considered, he and his party, they're the underdogs in this race. Do they have a message that's going to turn things around for them?
Well, I would say they tried. I talked to participants here, also to Social Democratic Party members, and to be honest, many of them, they don't believe that on Sunday, Olaf Scholz and the Social Democrats, that they could win the election. So people, they know the polls. And the truth is, the Social Democrats are at the moment quite weak in popularity among the German public. Behind me, Olaf Scholz, maybe he's still on stage. He just finished his address to the people here. We have to also say that at this venue it was not even fully booked out, so there were lots of empty seats, so it really did not feel like the momentum is on the Social Democratic side. Though Olaf Scholz said that he's still confident to win the election, he also again warned of Friedrich Merz, the Chancellor candidate from the Conservatives, possibly seeking a cooperation with the far-right AfD after the elections, though he has ruled that out. So Olaf Scholz really tried to attack him. It really didn't land. Yeah, he tried to be optimistic, but the polls tell a clear story, and that story is that on Sunday, Olaf Scholz's chancellorship could come to an end.
And it looks like the conservative leader, Friedrich Merz, he is widely seen as becoming the country's next chancellor. But for people not familiar with the political system here in Germany, there is a good possibility that the next government will be comprised of the conservatives and maybe the Social Democrats, the party of the current chancellor. I mean, the polls are showing that that could be likely. How might this, do you think, affect plans for a future government?
Well, one thing is for sure, even if Friedrich Merz wins the election on Sunday, he will need at least one coalition partner, so one additional party to form a government. Latest polls indicate even it could be necessary for him to have two coalition partners. That would mean he would have to team up with the Social Democrats and the Green Party, because he has ruled out to form a government with a far-right AfD. If he has to work with the Greens and the SPD, then this is basically the worst-case scenario for him, because those are the two parties he's been most critical of over the last weeks and months, because they formed the government and he blames them for being responsible for what he calls a crisis in migration policy, for what he calls a crisis of economy. But it may be that he will need them, but we'll need to wait 2 more days to make a final assessment on the possibilities of a new government here in Germany.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. The chancellor may lose his job, but his party may actually end up staying in government. We will see. DW's Alexander Gerst reporting from the city of Dortmund tonight. Alex, thank you.